Greetings everyone, I am Sister Lilia and welcome to my armory. So, it's time to Armiger your way through to victory. I know that was a bad segue. So, Knight Armigers, the baby descendants of the great Knight Paladins that... these things came about a few years back. I wanted them when they launched, but wasn't up for getting the box set that the Knight that the Armiger Warglaives were part of, and ended up getting these as part of my birthday, and so I figured it was time we take a look at them. So you can see the back of it. The packaging on these has changed over time, as is to be expected with GW stuff. We see kind of a point of... There's something about just being about snipping. You've got guides on... No, it's advertising at the bottom. Of course it is. It's GW. So at the top we see screaming faces. At the bottom we see words and things. At the end we see the Helverin variant and the Helverin variant. It'd be nice if they put the other variant on there as well. So we have a veritable mountain of stuff in here. So first up out of the box is the transfer sheet for the Armigers. Next we have bases. Now I may well have put this back into the box out of order from what GW did, because on my birthday I actually unboxed these and then put them back in the box to stay there to keep them all together. We have the big instruction manual, which gives you the instructions for building it as either building the two of them as Helverins or Armigers or Warglaives, or one of each if you want. So, because there are two of this kit, we actually get to look at both sides of the sprue. So, you get to see the inside and the outside of the legs. Get the entire leg setup is on one sprue by the look of it, but not the feet. Interesting. The other, I get to look at the two sides of the weapon sprue, which we've got this is the Warglaives one, which has got the chain glaive and thermal spear, and one and two of the faces. There's not much interesting on this side of the sprue, let's be honest. But yes, one interesting thing that kind of came about with the changes, when these first launched, they only had the Mechanicus-looking pauldrons in there, which made them kind of feel a bit out of place in non-Mechanicus Knight forces. So when the Warglaive finally was announced, I was excited for it, because it meant we had the option for non-Mechanicus-looking Knight House Armigers. So the actual Helverin accelerator autocannons, or at least I think they're accelerator autocannons, are mostly one part, apart from the base of the gun, which you can see here. Let's just grab the underside of the sprue. And you can see they've got the little base of the barrel. And yeah, it's neat how much of the weapon they managed to fit in one piece, because like you look at the Paladin and its main gun is two parts. Same for the brain's running a blank, Errant variant with the melter cannon. But yeah, then we've got the torso sprue, which I'll just have the underside of. I'll show both sides of it. So the torso sprue comes with both a heavy stubber and a melter gun to mount on the top of it. Melter guns being as short range as they are, I'm not sure there's much use for it. It's a shame this kit only comes with the option with only really one set of these and one set of shoulders. Well, two. It has a pair of upper shoulder arm pieces and then 2 arms worth of your shoulder joints. It's kind of a shame because you've got so many so much on here that it's just a shame that there isn't the extra arms for you to be able to just swap the arms out when you want to run one as a Helverin and one as an Armiger. You're kind of locked into building it unless you buy shoulders third party or are on eBay. I have not been. It is kind of sad. Like, these were sculpted in 2017, apparently. I think they launched in 2019 or 2018. I know the rules for them were in Engine War, if I remember correctly, and then later the Mechanicus Codex came out. Oh boy, I didn't have that codex because it cost money. But yeah, we've got a fair bit of neat looking parts, and yeah, so I'm going to go off and build these. Okay, pardon any background noise you hear. Here we go. So here is what the Knight Armigers look like with the leg armour on them, and here's what the legs look like assembled but without the armour. So I wanted to show it off, and also because they have plans that require me to have the legs free. Now, I think I've got this one slightly wrong because it doesn't quite sit flat. That seems to be kind of a theme. So the leg armour itself is, like, we've got the neat little shin guard here that wants to just run away. We've got the thigh plate, which I can just, which has some neat detail on it. And then we have the crotch plate, which is awkward to cut when your knives are misbehaving. So, these are neat. Now, I'll just get the tripod and stick it on the tripod without the base, since, you know, since it can stand up on its own. So I built these with heavy stubbers, and because I was building them up as Helverins, now I do have the arms spare, and thanks to luck with a bit seller making a mistake, I ended up with a pair of extra shoulders. So I'll show you what these look like with the Warglaive weapons on there instead. Well, I'll show you one of these with Warglaive weapons. Okay, so I've knocked those up. That might be the wrong choice of words. And thanks to having those spare parts. Now, another reason to leave the top not glued on is so you can change the weapon, so that you can actually change the weapon over easily. As with how stiff the arms ended up, I have to turn it like that to be able to get it to come off. Or just straight up take it off, because that'll be the easiest. So, let's just hook on that arm. Finally, the Armiger is plug and play. So if you folks want to see me de-chaos the Chaos War Dog retool of the Armiger design, or actually straight up new mold, if this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll see about doing it. Or I may well do it anyway. Let's just grab the melter gun, because the melter gun is far more suitable for one of these that's equipped for melee. And that looks so much more suitable. But yeah, the melter gun works quite well on it, and like, let's just put this into a more dramatic kind of pose. Like, more suitable might be the wrong term, but yeah, like, it's entirely possible to build these up so that they don't have the Mechanicus-esque cog trim on them, and it would work quite well for you. But that's your choice, really. I mean, look at the entire sprue of extra stuff that you get. Like, all of this is stuff to turn the base shell of an Armiger into a warglaive, but you could easily instead use the armor from the Helverin kit and make a more noble house looking Armiger. And like, yeah, these would look great with a little mechanical eye, with a little LED in them to make the eye light up. Oh, I've got the armor plates off the wrong one. So yeah, these are a neat little kit. Do I think they're too expensive at this point? Kinda. At the same time, in game, these things, like, one of these costs about as many points as a Leman Russ, and your Warglaive will hit a lot harder in some cases. Your Leman Russ are good at backfield, but your Warglaive, they'll charge straight up the middle and slam into the enemy, and they're gonna hurt. Like, you're not got a tiny range, low strength melter. That melter hits like a freight train, and the chain glaive also hits pretty hard with its two different types of attack. Wish all the knights did that. Although maybe they do. I am a bit behind on the rules. So yeah, these are a decent option for if you're wanting to get into knights. Now, if you're wanting to have the heaviest of firepower, you've got better options within the knights, but those better options cost a fortune. And simply, you can if you want to field like an army of these things, I think you can only take up to 3 of any given model that isn't a troop's choice. So you'd probably only be able to field like 3 of these, 3 Warglaives and 3 Helverins. But like, that's gonna do pretty well. Like, that's gonna fit within 1,500 points, and that still leaves you with some points to run something like a Knight Crusader. Okay, so in terms of scale comparisons, here's how one of these scales next to a Space Marine Ballistus Dreadnought. Here's how they scale next to a Paragon Warsuit, a Leman Russ Battle Tank. I don't have a Rogel Dawn, so I can't put one next to it. Here's how it scales next to a Imperial Knight that is a work in progress, and you can kind of see how much bigger it is. There's a reason there's a reason Armigers get called baby knights. You can see it next to a Penitent engine, a newer Penitent engine, actually the older Penitent engine, sorry. Now that's been reposed, so it's a bit taller than it probably should be. A Sister Battle Cannon S from last week. Oh, that's kind of out of frame. Another Armiger, and a work in progress Dechaosed Commissar. Yeah, that'll be on the channel next month once I finish it. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. As I said earlier, if you want to see me do a Dechaosed Chaos War Dog Brigands, get the likes counter up to 1,000. I mean, I might well do the conversion anyway, regardless of likes. I might make it happen sooner rather than further away. I also will be conversion building a pair of Armigers using leftover parts, as I've scored other people's leftovers and contributed some bases from an abandoned project. I will be back soon with more. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and for the Emperor and the nobility!